Hello, you're watching World Talks on TVP World. My name is Sasha Farbach. Now, former Czech Prime Minister Andrej Babiš, leader of the populist ANO party, has vowed to cancel funding for Ukraine's ammunition if he returns to power, arguing that it's too costly for Czech taxpayers. With ANO leading ahead of October's elections and Russian drones also crossing into NATO airspace over Poland, we ask now how central are defense and security issues in the campaign. And to discuss it all further, we're joined by Filip Nerad, Director of Communications and Marketing at GLOBSEC. Thanks so much for joining us here today on TVP World.
Good morning from Prague.
So a question directly to Prague. With these recent comments by Andrej Babiš, how much does this impact these elections, and how serious of a consequences could they have if it's proven true?
Well, as all elections, even the Czech ones, are mainly about the economic topics. But you're right, the conflict in Ukraine, the defense topics, is one of the trickiest, and there are a lot of talks about it. And if Andrej Babiš and his party wins the election, it can be a major change for a current Czech support for Ukraine and to Czech foreign politics regarding the Ukraine conflict, because Andrej Babiš and his party long time speak about they prefer peace solution rather than ammunition support or sending weapons to Ukraine. Mm-hmm. So it obviously will lead to cancelling of at least this scale support of Ukraine from the side of the Czech Republic. Andrej Babiš already said that his government would stop providing this Czech ammunition initiative, which means that Czech government won't be this kind of manager or coordinator of ammunition supplies to Ukraine from all over Europe and world, what current government does, and that brings Czech Republic really good profile worldwide. So this one will probably stop, and Czech Republic won't be such a keen supporter of Ukraine as it has been until nowadays.
Mm-hmm. Okay, there's a lot of ifs until we arrive there. Now, the statement itself, obviously, it's during a campaign. If we look also at the realities of the campaign right now, still some weeks out, but ANO right now, that's Babiš's party. If we're looking at a percentage point currently of some of the latest polls, around 31%. It's in the lead from the others, but as far as I can understand it, they cannot govern alone. So this kind of statement, tell us a bit, is this supported by the other parties? What's the likelihood that he could even carry out such a coalition? Is this just something for the campaign? Tell us how realistic this is and how realistic he could implement this with the other parties.
Of course, it's a part of a pre-election campaign, because he would need a coalition partner or partners. That's the billion-dollar question of this election. It seems, according to polls, that ANO will surely win the election. But the main question is if he gets some coalition partners or supporters that he will need, and what kind of. Currently, there are three opposition or unparliament parties that are possible entering the new House of Commons, but two of them are on the verge of this 5% hurdle. So it's not sure that they will enter it, and that this result will decide how the future Czech government may look like. So there is a big uncertainty what kind of government and who will be in it, even if Andrej Babiš wins. So you're right. We will see There are 2 more weeks. And now in the polls, ANO is slightly going down and current government parties are slightly going up. So the result might not be so clear until the end. But as you ask, these opposition parties or unparliamentary parties that are the possible coalition partners for ANO, they are rather or directly against support for Ukraine. Some of them are against membership in NATO or are requesting the referendum on EU. So that could be also part of the campaign and part of his attempts how to get some coalition partners after the elections based on this. The reality after the election might look different, but it's obvious, and Andrej Babiš speaks about it a long time, that he's not such a big favorite of support to Ukraine as the current government parties. So we may presume that there will be some change, and how dramatic or how different it will be, that we will see.
Right. Also, one thing that I'm curious about, I mean, last week we've had those drone incursions, Russian drones that were shot down over Polish airspace. As also to fortify the eastern flank, we've had Czech helicopters being deployed. There's about, I think, 150 now Czech servicemen in Poland. How has this impacted the mood in the campaign right now? These drone incursions, has that made people feel more, let's say, insecure? How has that actually impacted the campaign as it nears its end?
A lot of parties, mainly current government parties, started to remind the presidential debate from several years ago. There was a final presidential debate between Andrej Babiš and current Czech president Petr Pavel, and there was a direct question of the moderator if they would support NATO ally if he is attacked by Russia. And Andrej Babiš at that time said he wouldn't do it. He's a promoter of a peace and so on. And a lot of parties now have to remind this quote of him, several years old. So some of these parties use this quote to show that in such a situation as was attack or drone in this drone accident in Poland, Andrej Babiš won't be the ally for Poland and for other NATO countries. He refused it, of course. But that's something that I would say helped a little bit to current government parties to show that they will be supporters, and to stress once again that the threat from Russia is very actual, and it can also have an effect on us, on the NATO countries. We saw it in the example of Poland, but the same thing can happen to other countries, including Czech Republic. So I think this drone attack helped a little bit to current government parties to show that they are resolute against Russia. They want to defend Czech Republic, and to show that Andrej Babiš might not be willing to do so.
Mm-hmm. But also interesting point you raised there, President Petr Pavel, a very different policy, and how he will also guide certain policy. Well, we can't discuss at the moment, we've run out of time, but that's going to be an interesting dynamic there going forward if Babiš does pull out on top. Look, we'll close it there. Thank you so much. That was our guest here this morning, Filip Nerad from GLOBSEC. Really appreciate your time.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
And thank you for joining us, but continue to stay with us right here on TVP World. There's much more coming up, news and commentary. So goodbye.